I think it's harder
no.
in any industry for women
than it is men.
when men are in a level of power. A lot of times they use it to their advantage. They look at women as weak, like they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. They just don't respect us in the same level.
I can see a man wanting to work with a woman.
Why do you think that it would be easier for a woman? Make it as short as possible so that I can rebut.
Y'all are naturally softer.
So I heard control.
I was gonna say, what does soft have to do?
But I mean,
because if you don't view me as a threat, competition, whatever, then that means you don't view me as an equal.
okay.
So I'm not also trying to you niggas,
Right.
all of you, maybe some. If you're, but
You're the problem.
Y'all think it's harder in the music industry, entertainment industry, for women than it is men?
yes,
I don't know.
Why would you say
I think it's
hell
harder
no?
in any industry for women.
Than it is
brother.
men. Because the reality of it is every industry is
Not the
men.
strip club industry. What are you talking
It's harder for women there too.
Oh my god.
Because the niggas
They're
get
being
more
exploited.
say.
So yeah,
You said what?
they're being exploited in lots of ways. So yeah, it could be harder for them there as well.
It might be harder for y'all because you compete against other women. That's the only way how.
I can make it deep.
Come on.
You want me to put my kufi on? Where we going with it?
With the
I can be the friend
the
that's
African
too
one?
woke. I can always be the friend that's too woke.
Listen.
Yo, so wait, so y'all think it's harder for real?
No, we
Yes.
know it's harder.
Why?
So I can just give my personal experience.
Please.
Are you a music artist?
No, but I'm
Entertainment,
in management.
podcaster.
And yeah.
Okay.
In my experience, being a woman in certain rooms, sometimes you just get looked over and your voice is not as respected. And we've had a situation where I told you, I don't think this is going to go well based off of what I have picked up, the mannerisms, the vibe, all the things. I don't think this man respects women. I think that you should whoop, 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 right? And lo and behold, what happened? This person didn't respect women. And I had multiple examples after that situation that proved it. And so when men are in a level of power, a lot of times they use it to their advantage, but also like they look at women as, some men look at women as weak. Like they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. They just don't respect us in the same level. And that's just really been my experience. Not with all men for sure. I've definitely had a ton of really, really, really amazing experiences with men in this industry, but those men are people who respect women.
Any man who would be probably considered as high on the totem pole, a CEO of a company or the manager or just the boss man in general, if a man doesn't understand or know what's going on in that room, he probably doesn't belong in that room. Vice versa, ladies, just because you're a woman don't mean you're supposed to be in the room. A lot of guys don't even get into the room, but a lot of women can just get into it just from being a woman and having feminine energy. This is a clear example of privilege is invisible to those who have it.
I don't know, I feel like women could get away with so much just being a woman, like especially if you're a pretty woman. Like
I
pretty
think-
privilege is real.
I think, okay, so pretty privilege is real, but I also think that because men feel like if they were a woman, they would do certain things. They to get ahead or have this advantage, they feel like women can get away with. No, only you're thinking that. You would be a whore to get your way.
How the f did we get here?
Because that's the reality. You ask a man, if you was a woman for a day, what would you do? The quickest thing niggas gonna say, I'm getting paid. I'm about to go get me a rich. That's the first thought.
That's kind of crazy. If you really think of, so you want to get basically what you're saying. The first thing you want to do is you want to.
First thing in my mind, I'm like, wait, I probably don't know how.
That's kind of crazy.
I've seen so many
The first thing a nigga want to do is get.
That's crazy.
Well,
y'all right now, y'all want to. All y'all want to do is get right now. What are we talking about? Y'all are horny already.
No.
Nah, it's not about sex. I think what they're trying to say, if they had to give the advice of what a female, the way how she should move is she should move with femininity, opposed to just moving with just being more masculine and aggressive, because that'll get them in better positions with the opposite sex.
No, we're not talking.
They're saying something.
I get what you're
Like,
I know what you're trying to say, but sex is sex. So whatever your gender is at the time, you're gonna get the good feeling of. So shut up. That's irrelevant.
But
The point that I'm making is that a lot of times men will be like, women got it easy. Y'all could just do this. Y'all could just do
They
that.
say that all. It's like, do you think that that's what happened? What do you think it's like being like? When I hear men's explanation of why they think it's easier to be a woman, I'm always,
No,
just,
I
the
do
question
think.
is, what do you think
so,
it's like
and-
to live as a woman?
So wait,
what
wait.
the hell
in,
are you thinking?
in all fairness, though, right?
They thinking of what they do.
But no, in all fairness, like even when I met you in Mecca, I didn't know y'all from a can of paint.
Okay,
But I'm like, I mean, I don't mind helping y'all.
right, because you respect women, right? Or don't you?
I do.
Let's figure it out.
You funny as hell.
Yes or no?
I respect
okay.
women, nigga.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just out for like,
So then you won't understand what we're talking about. You're trying to use your rationale and the way that you respect women and make
As
it
you-
The sad part is that she's not trying to use her rationale in the way that she thinks about men and equate that into the equation. You only put it on the way how he views women. You're not saying how you view men, because the way how you act towards men, it has to be reciprocal. So if you're giving bad negative energy off the jump, which it seems like you're already doing the way how you jump to conclusions, you're not going to be a good judge of character as well, ma'am, in certain situations.
everybody. Yeah, and that's not what's happening.
But not
it's
even
not a
that.
universal thought.
Answer, why do you, all right, so just make it as short as possible so that I can rebut. Why do you?
nigga said so I can. What the
Yeah,
It's not a
because
safe space. I
No,
don't-
it is, but you be
So I
going
can
on rant
rebut.
sometimes, so I gotta give you a little.
Come on.
Oh, wow.
Why do you think that it would be easier for a woman? Like, give me 2 examples or 2 reasons, because you just said pretty privilege. So elaborate or give me, just respond to that. What's the thing that makes it easier for women than it does for men?
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
I feel like y'all are naturally softer. So I could see a man wanting to work with a woman and not a man, because then I don't have to feel like I have to always like be at war with ego.
So I heard control.
I was gonna say, what
Okay.
does soft have to do?
But I mean,
It's basically it's this man and I feel like he might take control, but
Right.
this woman, she can't take control.
Women hate biology. They hate their own superpower. This is crazy. This is your superpower. Each gender is going to have their superpower. The man has his masculinity, which is he's more dominant in. The woman has her femininity, which she is more dominant in. Why do you hate the part that makes you up the most? Why not harness it, use it to your advantage and your best ability? Of course, you're going to have a little bit of masculinity in you, just like men are going to have a little bit of femininity in the man. But you're supposed to still be able to harness your superpower and use it for the best for your ability. But women don't want to do that.
That's what it sounded like to me.
okay,
It's crazy.
cool. So I wasn't saying that, but like that just shows you how toxic y'all think. Like, because that's not what I was like. That's hurt. That's
So
pain.
That
my
is true.
question, because you
But
kind of
even if that's the case, but let's go there. Even if
because
that's
you said softer. So how does that? So us being softer, if that's your case, right? How does that make it easier for us?
So-
Not because because a man will want to work with you. No. How does that make it easier for us because we're softer?
because y'all can get into more spaces and a person won't think you're
Threat.
a threat. So even if you are saying
But
control,
is that
right?
really a positive thing?
But okay, cool. It can be.
Because
Whereas
you're
though,
just undermining.
but even
Because
as
you
a
should think I'm a threat. Because I am.
Period.
okay, cool. I'd rather be.
Okay, cooler.
I'd rather be the person who's not deemed as a threat and get more opportunities. That's just me.
I
And maybe
agree.
that's because I'm on the outside looking in, whereas though I don't get opportunity
But
because niggas
you
think I'm a threat.
I think that
agree.
you are. It's a misconception though, because if someone doesn't think I'm a threat, if someone undermines me in any way, thinks I'm softer, there's no competition here. Then in that same token, what makes you think that equals more opportunities? Because if you don't view me as a threat, competition, whatever, then that means you don't view me as an equal.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So then why would I want to engage in that? Or how do you feel like that makes it easier for me, because I'm surrounded by people who don't even value me enough to think that I am at the same stature of them, because it's like, she's a girl.
Or even
She's
respect
soft.
me.
Exactly.
Off of just the gender. Like,
First of all, why do we have to respect you off the gender if we live in a form of equality? Men don't get respect from other men. They have to earn that respect. Here's the thing about it. When you're in the workplace, whatever your skill set is, you need to apply the skill set first. Don't apply your funny character, how you like to go knit on the weekends and how you like to go play with the dogs. No, you need to present yourself with the knowledge that your job description requires, so that they can take that serious first. And then if you happen to get into your background and who you are, all that stuff that happens, that's what, usually fellowship involves in the workplace. But first and foremost, it's about your knowledge and skill set. See, a lot of times people get into positions in companies, not based on what they know.
So being viewed as a threat is respect, I guess, is the question that I'm having, because I don't think that value equates to viewing you as a threat. I think value is more so like understanding what you bring to the table. I don't think that I have to see you as a threat to value you.
For sure, but when we're talking about a workspace, and we're talking, because we're not talking, I would see if you were talking about a personal level.
Even on a workspace, though.
On a workspace, if I don't see you as somebody, as competition, someone that can sharpen my skills, someone who can grow me in that way, because I feel like you're soft. So it's like, it's nice to have you around. Or as opposed to someone who I can compete with or grow with, or even someone who, not saying that you don't bring value, but maybe the value that I want to bring. So if I'm saying that I want to be ahead of something and you're like, oh, you bring value, just not head type value, but I'll keep you just because.
Reverse the question to men. That's a good question. Why do men view other men as a threat, right?
The same way how we got some men that are against men going into the women's bathroom, you have the opposite side where some men feel it's okay for a man to go into a women's bathroom. That's why men do not like competition, because we have to fight for our ideals, and we have to fight for the things that we believe in. If we don't, then the opposing opposition will take over, and then the women are at risk as well, and the children.
But I think it's more so, going back to what you said earlier, it's pride and it's ego.
For sure.
So even still though, if you view another man as competition, as a threat or whatever, it's because you feel like y'all are on equal playing ground. You wouldn't think that some nigga is a threat if you feel like that nigga ain't have on you.
So, you're right. I think it's the opposite of pride and ego. Because I feel like a lot of niggas not giving, we talk about gatekeeping, we talk about not giving people opportunities, we talk about all of this. I think you don't do that because you're scared. And I can't really relate to that because I ain't scared of none of these niggas, and that just is what it is. But I think I can also see the same, it's saying like the same reason they love you to be the same reason they hate you, right? So the same thing that makes me step into these rooms and be able to walk in with my head up and like view everybody as equal is the same reason why I might not get the biggest interview, because I just don't care that much. I don't care that much to think you're better than me, but I also don't care that much to go out my way to try to do some things with you, if that makes sense. So, but when going back to the men and women.
Hold on, let me just expound upon that real quick, because I think that's one of the things that a lot of us as guys lack a lot of the times. If we look at these CEO companies or whatnot, what are all these guys at the top doing? They fellowship with each other, and a lot of them give each other a certain amount of respect. See, hierarchy is a real thing, especially in business, corporations, the whole nine. Hierarchy is a real thing. So once a hierarchy is established, then you move accordingly. If you have someone above you, you give them a certain amount of respect because they have earned a certain title and position. And then from there, once a hierarchy has been established, it's easier to navigate and move and get respect from others, because you understand the totem pole of respect. That's the way how it works. But a lot of the time, people don't want to give people they respect or they flowers that they earn, and then they come into it almost like the angry child situation where it's like, I'm not giving you no respect. Nah, I don't care what your title is. You got to give me mine first. That's not how you move up in the company, just being honest. And people can call that being a company man, a kiss ass, the whole nine. But you do have to move a certain way in certain spaces to still get exactly what you want out of the situation.
Thing when it comes to opportunities, I think a man gonna do that if he's a woman or old man. If he's scared that somebody's gonna take his spot, he's gonna do that regardless. He'd probably be less scared because it's a woman, because she's softer. He might think that, I'm gonna give her opportunity because she can't take my spot. But that's why I say I think woman has it easier, because let's take that same man, right? That man that's scared, scary ass nigga, right? That scary ass nigga ain't gonna get an opportunity to a man he think is equal because he feel like he can get his spots taken. He's gonna give it to a woman because he think that she's no threat to him. Whole time she is the threat to him. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I can see women having.
So it's a DEI hire.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
Possibly.
So I'll give you that, because I think that does occur. However, I'm gonna still say that it's not as easy for us, because you still have to think about who's in control, who's making decisions, who has the power. And when you're looking at these spaces, you can let's just say music, for example. We already know that music is male dominated, not just on the side of artists, but we're talking about the people who make decisions. It's male dominated for sure. You don't know what it's like to be a woman and walk into a room full of men. That is a very anxious ass situation, especially because 9 times out of 10, you already know the majority of that room don't respect you, because that's just culture. That's society.
First of all, maybe you shouldn't be in the room. Some spaces you shouldn't be in. You probably were not meant to be there. If you feel like that, you probably should be at home in the kitchen with a man possibly, opposed to trying to shake and move like a guy. I'm just being honest. If you have guys that have to deal with the same problem and issue, and now you go into it and you feel like you got more against you because you are female, you can't change the system at hand. You can only participate in it, and you need to participate where you're actually wanted or where you feel like you can actually thrive in.
It's not even me trying to like have this preconceived notion about everybody. That's the same way as you walking into a room full of white folks. I'm just gonna be, just to protect myself real quick, I'm just gonna already assume that y'all view me in a certain way, and we can kind of go from there.
No, that's a bad mindset. You want to do the opposite. You want to not have that in your head so you can still be as much as who you are as you need to be. Don't come into where, oh man, they think I'm black. Oh, they think I don't know what I'm talking about. No, you come in there like you know what you're talking about. That's bad advice right there, what she just said.
Same thing for us. So it's like, that's what's happening. We're in spaces where they're male-led, and so we have to have a level of guard up, and we have to have a level of discernment too. Like, in every conversation, we have to make sure, was this nigga flirting with me also?
Oh my God.
Because that also happens. Because it's like,
that's
I'm not also trying to this
Right.
all of you. Maybe so. If you're, but
You're the problem. This is a woman you don't want in the workplace right here, because she, maybe so, I might crack for the right guy. Oh no, stay away from me, weirdo creeper. Why are you even saying this? See, this is what's going to get people jammed up and messed up in the workplace, because you say you want one thing, but then you want the opposite at the same time. It's horrible advice.
So that's a thing too. So on one end, yeah, the niggas may not be respectful to you, but then on the other end, they trying to fuck you. Now what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
So is that so?
Don't go thinking that something is happening before it's happening. You're in your head too much. Just get out of it for a second.
I don't know. I'm
Does that
trying to
feel
have
easy?
this. Yeah, no,
He's gonna say something about it not being an advantage of ours.
But I mean,
You're in your head.
Because I know you so well.
no, I wasn't gonna say about an advantage, but I was gonna say like, is that what make it hard about the other part about like men trying to fuck you? Because like you
sure,
can still
because
use that to your advantage.
If the thing is,
You possibly
not
can.
in the ways you think though,
Right.
because most women are not just gonna fuck a nigga just off the strength of they can give them an opportunity. Some women do, and power to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Use what you got, sister. I ain't never too mad, right? But imagine I just don't want to fuck you for that, and so now it turns in a spite. Now I'm gonna make sure that you don't get some because you ain't give me no play, and that happens a lot.
Listen.
Don't move up the company. I'm not saying you got to give the buns off, but you need to have boundaries and you need to have respect with yourself. But at the same time, don't move up. You either play the game the right way, and I'm not saying you got to have sex to move up. I'm saying that you go off your merit, move up. But here's the thing about it, man. We live in the day's age is that with HR is on rampage. Any guy who trying to make certain sexual passes, trying to hold you back because of sexual passes or whatnot, it's going to be problematic. So you still got the ball in your court. I understand that guys are going to possibly want to court you at the workplace. It happens all the time. We're not going to be able to change that. It's about how you carry yourself, your boundaries, how friendly you are, how well you go off your merit, and make sure you keep a certain standard to where, just what she said a second ago, I might try and hit some of y'all. Don't bring that energy in there. You need to come in there correct, and guys will respect you as such.
Hello.
It looks different in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have situations where, let's say somebody is flirting with you or they want that, right? You have some instances where a woman will give in, thinking that it's gonna get you opportunity, and it's like, I already got it. Now you get nothing. Now you did it for nothing.
Yeah.
What advantage did
that
you have
happens
then?
too.
Nothing.
Yep.
Then you have opportunity spaces where it's like a man might be trying to get it, and it's like, I don't want that, and it's like, I'm just trying to stay on business, and it's like, fuck you.
Yep.
Like you said, then it's like, now you blackball. You don't get no opportunities with me. I'm not connecting to nobody, and it's like, well, damn. Like, so at the end of the day, it never really feels good, regardless. Like, if we came here for business, can we just do the business? But especially in the industry, I feel like it's hard to be in the industry with what they say. The standard is for women, girls gotta want to be you and men gotta want to fuck you. That's the standard to be a face of something, right? And so the reality of it is, you gotta be but not too. She can't be a whore. It's like it's just so much to it where it's like so much maneuvering where it's not easy. It's hard to juggle all of the things when it comes.
That's just like a man. A man has to acquire and develop certain qualities that he probably would not want to focus on, but he has to compete against the men in the business. It's necessary. That's why a lot of guys who just stay like normal and average, they don't never want to adapt the qualities that the boss man has because they just don't want to do it. But the ones who do, they move towards that path. We have a burden of performance on us as well if we don't put in the work.
To just keeping your respect in the workspace.
And that's not stuff that y'all have to think about.
Nah, you're right. That's what I'm thinking. Like, man, you got a point. You got points. Yeah, you got me. I don't know. I think Alex. Shit. I don't know.
Nah, I mean, we hear about the microaggressions that women face all the time. You know, it's something that is underlying. So I've heard everything that you were saying. The only thing that I was thinking about was just the threat aspect. I think that there can be a world where you can be viewed as somebody that can work in the same space without being a threat and still get that respect.
Yeah.
I think that the idea is that superiority is the misconception here, where it's just like I have to show that I'm superior to you in one way, and that's where people find that threat. You know what I'm saying? But I think that overall in this world that there can be a place where you can coexist, you can show up as your best self, you can be a woman and give all of your, I don't know, additions to whatever company without being viewed as a particular threat and it still be equal. Yeah. Now, are there examples of what you all just explained? A lot. Like you hear all these cases and all these things, and there's actually the reason why they have a lot of policy in place is because it happens so often.
For sure.
Now, at the same time, I don't want to just say that there's not things that are beneficial to both sides.
We're not speaking on the women who sexually harass men in the workplace. And men don't say anything because I'm be honest, we cool with it, just being honest. Like a girl grabbing up on us or something like that, it don't happen that often, so we probably gonna be going with it. But we don't really speak on the side where women sometimes sexualize themselves in the workplace opposed to guys. Man, bro, I'm still in the workplace. Guys are traumatized about doing the wrong thing around a female because they will get out of there. They're gonna get gone. Trust me, women hold a lot of power inside the workplace. But I'm gonna finish this off, and I want to speak. I want to speak on this because I got a lot of experience in this because I am in the workplace.
So there's benefits to both sides, to both genders, and how they navigate the corporate space, the corporate ladder, or any job in capacity.
I mean, I think that's true, and I think that I think it's clear that people have learned, like, all right, I got to use what I have to get through the door, and then I got to let my work ethic speak for itself, for sure. So I mean, there's pros and cons in any and everything.
And even
life,
that, so like, I guess that's the big part about it because I can't really do that. Like, and to be honest, the women that are in power that have some type of power to put me on or give me position ain't somebody that I want to do.
I was about to say, you ain't trying to dig them down, Jay. So your pretty privileges, you know the deal.
Yeah, so
I mean,
I will say this though. I will say that most of the people that were served as mentors early on in my career were all women. So I feel like the difference that what you can be argued is a woman would be more willing to help out and lift up a man, especially a black man, a black woman and a black man, than the latter.
You know, it's fun. I mean, I'm not. I don't even want to. I don't even want to get into like us versus them. I don't want to.
Not even.
But what I will say is, I don't know, bro, because more recently,
I'm just saying,
the ones that like it was either I with them or it was nothing. To be honest, like that has been my experience. It's like, I don't want to say nothing. No, I'm lying.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's
But
extreme.
it's at least what I will say is, I think women, from my experience, are more intentional than men, right? So a man will bring a woman around trying to find his way in. Let's do the meeting, do that type shit until he find a way in. Whereas though a woman will like come straight at you, right? But by the time that, it's like it's kind of weird. It's like shit. Like, so I've had women come at me directly.
All right, we're gonna leave it right there because this story's going somewhere else. Someone once told me, this is someone that I work with, not directly with, but I've worked with him for a long time. We're still at the same company. And I always wonder why he said this. He was like, women shouldn't work in this department. He said that. I'm just like, what? I'm like, man, this dude tripping. I'm in my early 20s now, so I'm not fully understanding. I'm still on like, oh, women, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm on that side. So I didn't understand it. But as you get older, you see why. I understand why he said that. Now, whether it's conducive or not, or it's, progressive or not, that's one thing. But we act different towards women than we do with men in the workplace. We do. We treat them very different. We look at women sometimes like a wounded animal, or, a little puppy or something like that. We're going to be extra nice to them. We're going to make sure that they feel comfortable. They're going to feel welcome more than we would a guy. Now, if a guy comes in new, we might help him out. I mean, we still going to help him out because we still, we know what the task at hand and camaraderie. But when it comes to a female, usually guys go above and beyond to be extra helpful. Make sure she's comfortable, the whole nine. So it changes the energy, and we try and protect them sometimes. Even when they're in their own heads thinking that people are against them, we on their side. I did it back in the day. I'm not even going to lie. Yeah, I definitely was on the side of trying to make sure that the female felt comfortable in the workplace. But I had to grow, and then I changed throughout time to where I understood, like, hold up. Man, this is weird. A lot of these chicks is in these situations because of them. It ain't even because of the guys, it's because of the way how they act. We live in a land of equality now. You come in these spaces that's male dominated. Don't expect for people to change because you're inside the place now of business. And it's cool. Like I said, all practices don't need to be practiced inside the workplace, but at the same time, you chose to come there as well. That's like me coming in a place worrying about how people view me as being a guy that's brown or whatnot, and me feeling weird about it. That's me coming in with insecurities opposed to them just already working there, and then now I'm trying to come in there and change how these guys think and act. Man, I don't know who they are, the can of paint in their own day-to-day life. So how can I expect to come in and change how they view about a certain group of people because of the way how I feel? That's not how this working business works. Because at the end of the day, it's working business first. We're not coming there to be friends and be social. Of course, it happens. I got a lot of friends from the workplace, but that's not what it's about initially. It's about going there, get your coin, and you go home. Okay, so let's dive into women's superpower. I spoke about it in the video a little bit, to where a woman has her superpower and a man has his superpower. The thing about it is, a woman's superpower, they're already born with it because they show it, most of the time. Girls are still going to be feminine regardless whether you have masculine ones. They still know how to, they always have that girly energy. A guy though, the qualities to make him acceptable in certain rooms, he got to learn and grow those skills. It's a lot different. It has to come from a place of experience and a place of knowledge, because guys get looked over just as much as a woman could get looked over. But if a woman is good at knowing herself in femininity, she got to learn. See, a lot of females have not been taught the game that they must play in the United States. Just as well as the man has to learn the game that he has to play to jump through hoops and hurdles and move up the ladder, women have not learned that. A lot of them haven't, because they still feel like it's a foot on their neck, just like you might have. Some people feel like, I'll be honest, you got a lot of black people that feel like it's a foot on their neck of racism or whatnot. When it's like nobody really controlling you. You can still move how you want to move. Women almost feel the same way a lot of the times. When you got more privileges in the workplace than the guy has. Let a guy hit on you the wrong way, they getting that dude up out of there. It's a problem. So women are very much protected still. But if they learn that superpower, they can harness that, move up the company, and shake and move a whole lot different than a guy could. I've seen it happen all the time. I still see it. I see plenty of women come in the door. Now, whether they sleeping with somebody behind the scenes, that's one thing or another. If you are going to do that, you better choose the right person. That's a part of your superpower package. You have the ability to sleep with the right person to move you up. Guess what? We don't have that. That's a double standard for us. But guess what? We can't complain about it. We just got to deal with it. We have to deal with the fact that we can't just sleep with a CEO chick and she just gonna move us up the ladder. Now, if we happen to do that, hey, kudos to us. But see, that's why you have to vibe with your tribe, man. People who you really want to see yourself circled around and centered around, that's probably gonna be the guy that you probably need to navigate towards. And for ladies, that might be the guy that you probably gonna crack. I'm not telling you to do that at all. I'm not giving you the advice to go cracking CEOs. But I'm just telling you the powers that you do have and how you can harness it. But if you're going based on merit and not thinking about how people view you, that can save you a lot of headache as well, because sometimes we have preconceived notions about ourselves that others aren't even projecting on us. We projecting it onto other people, which is strange behavior, but that's when you have to learn and know yourself, not be so insecure, come into it with the knowledge that you know. That's going to help you shake and move in a lot of spaces. It ain't even just going to be in the workplace. It's going to make you navigate through life. You going out to restaurants, you not feeling like people looking at you because you a certain color, a lot of weird, goofy stuff. I'm going to have this link in the description, y'all, because I don't want to talk forever. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all comment below. I hope y'all having a great day, whatever time of day it is. Just make sure y'all enjoy the day. And until next time, y'all, this is JayBReacts. Peace.